So now we're going to start by inserting some of the files that we want to have in each of the folders that we created here on the left. So we're going to have a file that's going to go into the front matter, which is in this front folder, and then in the main folder will contain most of the body of our document, and then in the back we'll have the bibliography. So first I'm going to start with the front, and in the front we're going to put the abstract. And I provided you with text for that abstract. It's in a separate document that you will be able to download and use. So I'm just going to insert here a file, and I'm going to call it abstract. So you can go up here to the left where it says new file, or you can right click and go to new file like this. So for this one we'll use this, and then I'm going to just type abstract in all lowercase letters. Okay, so this is where we're going to put all the text for the abstract. We'll come back to that later. And then in the main tech area here, this file, is where we're going to call that information that resides within this file. So now let's go to the main folder here, and we're going to start adding the sections that are going to be in the article. So let's just go review that before we do that. So there's my abstract I was just indicating, and this is the main example text here. So what sections are we going to need? We're going to need an introduction, and then the sun's interior. And within the sun's interior section we have several subsections which we'll input into the same file. And then the next section would be sunspots, solar flares, and prominences. So that's all about solar activity. And then again we have some subsections here. And then we have a section on our sun's life cycle. And then we have the conclusion. So I'm going to go and make file names for all of these. And you can use the same file names that I am using, or you can use whatever you would like to. So I'm going to start by creating a new file, and the first one is going to be introduction. Hit create, and then we're going to create the next section in the main folder called Sun Interior. Great. And then our next one is going to be about the solar activity, so I'm just going to call it solar activity. And all my file names here are going to be lowercase without spaces. And then the next section is going to be sun life cycle. And our last section, conclusion. All right, so now we have all the sections for the main and the front, so the abstract. And now at the back of our article, so the last file will be the bibliography. So I'm going to create a new file for that. There, so now we have all the files created. They're all blank right now, but now they're not going to show up unless in the main file here, main.tech, we're able to insert them in here just by the file name so that they're input into the article. So when it compiles it, it'll include them. Otherwise, if we don't do that, it will not include these files in our document. So we could input all the text we want in here, but if we don't specify that we need these files in our main.tech file here, then nothing will show up. So I'm going to show you how to do that, but before we do that, I'm just going to take this section here the introduction, since we're not going to put it into this main file here, we're going to put it into introduction.tex over here. I'm just going to remove it from here and insert it over here. So you can use shortcut keys to do this. So I'm going to use Control X to cut. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to Control V to paste. All right, and back here. Now let's just hit recompile or Control S. Just make sure everything's okay still. No errors, no, okay. So in order to insert these, we have to input some code here. So I'm going to start writing it right here within the begin and end document. And the command is \input and then curly bracket. And when you do that, it's going to come up with all the files that you have on the left hand side, and you can just choose the ones that you want. So first we need the front abstract, and then input again. Now I'll go through all the ones in the main folder. So introduction, sun interior, solar activity, sun life cycle, and conclusion. And then the last one is the bibliography. There. So everything is set now, and we'll be able to start adding our text and images and other things in the next few videos.